Talking about drugs and alcohol with your loved one is scary and uncomfortable, but when you repress your emotions, their denial wins. Communication is empowering, so communicate even when it's difficult. While it's important to express your love for them, it's important to let them also know you don't condone or support their addiction. Talk about how you feel and what specific behaviors bother you. That's where boundaries come in. Boundaries are a way for you to take back control that their addiction has on your life. Boundaries are the key to healthy relationships, even though your loved one is not healthy. A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. At first, you might feel selfish or guilty or embarrassed when you try to set a boundary, but do it anyway. And here are some examples. You get to say what is and is not acceptable in your own home. Let your loved one understand the consequences if they violate your boundaries. Will you force them to stay somewhere else if they've been drinking? Will you notify the police if you find heroin in a dresser drawer? Or will you ask them to move out entirely? Reclaim control over what goes on in your home within your personal space and the space around other family members. Don't allow someone to treat you poorly just because you love them. Reestablish self-respect and integrity by defining what is acceptable language and actions. Don't forget that you have a right to expect decent and respectful behavior from others, even though they're struggling. And consider the leverage you have before enforcing a boundary, limiting communication, stopping payments for cell phone bills, and even asking them to move out. While they might be angry at you that you have to enforce the boundary, they only have themselves to blame because you made it clear how you would react up front. Focusing on the addicted person, the rest of the family comes in second. If you're constantly worrying about your loved one and the troubles their drinking or drug use brings onto the family or them, you're being robbed of your peace of mind. Just as your loved one's life has been taken over by the addiction, so is your family's. As you have difficult conversations with your loved ones, it's important to keep a few things in mind. No matter the hurtful things they say or do, they love you. Sadly, neither your love for them nor their love for you is enough to save them from their addiction. Don't excuse their behavior, but try not to take it personally either. Though it may not seem like it, they don't want to live like this. Unfortunately, quitting is not as simple as it sounds. Right now, living a life without drugs or alcohol feels impossible, and discussing the possibility of change is terrifying. You never know when they may say yes to getting help. Honest conversations are often what drive people to treatment. Have a facility picked out, but be open to their ideas too. It should be clear that you support treatment and will be there for them throughout the process. And say those things out loud. Don't assume that they already know. If your loved one has been to treatment before and communicated boundaries to you, it's important that you honor them. Don't assume you know better. Instead, show them the same respect that you're asking for. For example, if they've expressed that living with you is harmful to their recovery, take that option off the table. It's not your burden to find them a place to live either. Let them take responsibility. That's what boundaries are all about.